Hey there YouTube, it's me Tifa Wilderness. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the second of this month's Korean toy reviews. Right, today I've got another figure from the Metal Cardbot S toy line, and it's a figure that I tried to buy last month, but unfortunately there was only one available on G-Market, and when I tried to purchase it, that little box comes up at the top of the page that says this figure will not ship to your, well, this item won't ship to your country. So I've shit out last month. I couldn't get one. So this month I looked on G-Market and there was two that came up on G-Market. The first one that I couldn't get and another one. So I made a play on the other one. Unfortunately, the sale went through. Blah, 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 blah. It's arrived. I've got it. So let's get on with it, shall we? So Metal Cardbot S, the second season of Metal Carbots. Obviously, it's a vast improvement on the season one. Much bigger, better bots. A lot more engaging storyline from what I can tell, because obviously it's all in Korean at the moment. They haven't done the English dub or subtitle version, but it's really, really good. And obviously you've got your antagonists and protagonists. I mean, all the bots from the first show got taken away right in the first episode, and then it was like start again with a whole new lot of bots, and quite an interesting premise. But anyway, you have the bad guys, or the protagonists, and there's one figure or one character in particular who's like the big bad for the middle to the latter part of the series, and well, until he gets captured, and that is Gigan Trex. Now, Gigan Trex is a big truck former, kind of similar to Heavy Iron. In fact, his toy is, you would say, it's a heavy retool and repaint of the Heavy Iron mould, because it does bear some similarities to it, even though there are a lot of differences in the way the mould works and in its articulation and execution. And yeah, so he's quite an interesting character. He's a big bombastic truck. His debut episode's quite interesting because it's kind of like a homage to Duel, the Steven Spielberg film from the 1970s, where you had that with Dennis Weaver, and he was driving that car down that desert road, and then there's this big Mad Max tanker truck pulls up beside him, and they have a big chase, and it's kind of a homage to that, and it's quite enjoyable actually. Anyway, without that said, let's get on with stuff. So here is the box, rather large box as we can see. Got his truck mode, got his robot mode, got his name in Korean hangul's there, and then you've got Jun, the main antagonist kid. Stuff on the side, stuff on the back, and yeah, this guy's got a rather large card weapon that's quite interesting. And yeah, box, heavy cardboard stock, smallish window, large clamshell inside, yada yada yada. Obviously comes with instructions. Black and white with coloured sections which show you which parts of the figure move during the transformation. It's like little CGI images, but no, they're clear enough. And these figures, generally speaking, they're very intuitive, you know. And here he is. So here is Gigan Trex in his truck mode, and as you can see, he's a big articulated tanker truck. He does come with a card weapon, so there's his metal card, and then it's got his card weapon attached to the back of it. This enormous chunk of plastic is his card weapon. So yeah, that's the thing with yeah, the metal cards from the original show were like that. They were just, they're just transparent slivers of plastic that just folded up into a flat rectangle. But these ones are there's a lot more to them. So yeah, but they all fit within the profile of the card. That's the only thing they have in common. Now, obviously, like I said, this guy is a heavy retool rework of Heavy Iron, who I have here, and this is one of the big bad guys from season 1, and I've got him for comparison sakes. So let's look at the truck mode. So let's start off with the cab unit. So there's his cab unit. As you can see, it's like a very much American styled bonneted truck cab. It's got a nice big grille. It's got lights picked out on the front. He's got like the sort of the angry eyes inset into the windshield or the windscreen, as they do, kind of like Cars characters. They have the eyes in the windshield, but he's got this nice crest on top of the cab, smokestacks, some more coloured details there. It's got like a big sleeper cab, and then it's got the back of the truck with some little picked out red lights and a hole for the tow hitch or the the fifth wheel, and nothing underneath really, but it's got pinned wheels, rolls really well. And there's the what's it. Now I'll do a quick comparison while we're at it with Heavy Iron's truck mode. And Heavy Iron's what we call a cab over truck that has a flat front, and he has a conventional sort of bonnet, and they do scale quite well with each other. Obviously underneath you can't see a lot, and on top. Now, as these do look kind of similar, you would think there is cross compatibility with the trailers, but sadly not. For instance, Heavy Iron has got quite a gap at the back of his truck mode, whereas Gigan Trex hasn't. So Heavy Iron's trailer plugs in like that, but you've got this block that sticks out the front of his trailer, and it only just clears the back of his head in alt mode. When you try to do it with this, it won't allow you to attach. Right, now going the other way round, Gigan Trex's trailer's got these, well, I assume they're his thighs really in robot mode, his leg chunks. So it's got his hook there, and that hook's on great. So then when you try to use Heavy Iron, you can get the pin in the hole, but as you can see, it's hitting the underside of the trailer. So they're not cross compatible, unfortunately. You know, Heavy Iron can't pull Gigan Trex's trailer and vice versa, which is a shame. It would have been nice if they'd have had some cross compatibility between the two, but they don't, unfortunately. Anyway, so Gigan Trex's truck is it's a big ass tanker truck. It's got silver details. It's got like ladders. It's got ladders on the front. It's got moulded ladders on the side. It's got sort of the panel lining on the back. It's got smallish wheels, again pinned, which roll really well. It's a pretty chunky trailer. Now, a quick comparison between the trailer for Heavy Iron. This is going to be tricky to pick these two up. So there we go. So now Heavy Iron's trailer is a lot narrower, whereas Gigan Trex's trailer is a lot wider. I think height wise they're about the same. Length wise, Gigan Trex is a lot longer because obviously he's got the longer truck cab. So yeah, they are similar but also significantly different. So let's get on with the transformation. Right, so we'll put the cab off to one side for a moment, and then we'll start off with the trailer. Bit of parts forming involved in this, as there was with Heavy Iron. Bits of the robot mode are attached to the trailer. The cab unit basically just becomes the chest and the shoulders and the head. So right, so to start off with, we've got these panels here. So you fold them up, then grab the sides of the trailer and split. And then these bits can fold down to the side. You then have these chunks on the front, which you take off, they become the arms. Then bring that round, stand them up, fold down the feet, fold up these red panels, fold them in like so. And then these are on double hinges, so they'll hinge back and plug into this piece here. So they hinge back and then they plug in like that to form the sides and the back of the leg. So do it again. They're on a double hinge. It comes back. Yeah, it comes back. Let me see if I can show it this way. Like that. And then it just all pegs in. And there we have a pair of legs. So we'll bring that down and then we'll just put that off to one side. Then the arms. I mean, the arms are pretty much ready to go, actually. I mean, there's not much you need to do to the arms. They're all do you have to slide these things back? No. The arms are pretty much ready to go. So then you get the truck cab. So start off the back of the cab, get your fingers in there, just pull them out to the side. You then get this bit at the back. So you take the head on this stem and bring it up. You then sort of concertina on a double hinge joint. You bring this up. Oh, no, that's right. You bring it up like this, drop that down, and then this comes back, and then you have a slot in here that the neck goes into, and then that plugs in like so, and then straighten out the shoulders, and there we go. And then the arms. Now the arms attach to the back of the shoulders with these two pegging ports, and when I first saw this, when I was looking at other people's reviews of it, I was a bit unsure about the pegging on the arms. I didn't think it looked a secure enough connection for the arms onto the shoulders, but actually it's got them usual sort of H clips that they have on Korean toys, and they just plug on like that, and trust me, they do plug on very firmly. So there's the top part. Then all you've got to do, you've got to put him in back to front, because you've got the truck grille becomes a slot, the connection slot for the legs. So you've got to put him in back to front. You slide that in. You then turn him round at the waist, close up the crotch plate, and there we go. There is a Gigan Trex in his robot mode, and he looks awesome. I think he looks really, really cool. The colour breakup on this guy is very detailed. There's a lot of colours going on. It's mostly the red, and then you've got the white and the yellow and the bits of silver, and there's plenty of colours going on. It's mostly moulded plastic colours. There are a few paint apps, but it looks really, really cool. Yeah, it's got quite a gruff head sculpt, and like I said, in the show he's in a bad mood for the most part, because he gets injured, and he gets like this scar across his head and his upper chest, and it sort of messes him up, because he's got like, you know, interference in his eyes, and he's like insane in the membrane, and always picking for a fight, and that's basically how he is in the early part of the show. But is a big old bruiser, and as you can see, fairly clean bot. He's got a lot of bulk on his legs because obviously large masses of the trailer form the backs and the sides of his legs. Also he's got big chunks of the trailer on his arms. But yeah, there we go. There's his robot mode. So I think for the sake of size comparisons, just let me transform heavy iron for a moment. Right, so obviously size comparisons, there's Gigan Trex and then there's heavy iron. So they are pretty similar. Gigan Trex is a little bit bigger, but they do scale pretty well together. But they are they're both big bads for big bad for season 1, big bad for season 2. Even though there is an even bigger bad that's coming later on. So yeah, there we go. No, put him over there. Also, another big Metal Cardbot S bot that I got recently. This guy, and as you can see, they do scale very well. In fact, when Gigan Trex gets his first arse kicking, it's at the hands of this guy. And as you can see, they do square up pretty good. But then again, this is Blue Cop with 2 extra vehicles to give him like this powered up mode. So it's Blue Cop Trinity. But as you can see, he does scale very well with Gigan Trex. And then just because he's my usual size comparator when I do my Korean toy reviews, there he is next to Combiner Wars Megatron, who is a full-size leader class bot. And as you can see, he's considerably bigger and more chunky than him. Right, so there he is, Metal Cardbot S Gigan Trex. He's a very big, heavy boy. Now, articulation. This guy looks really cool, but he's kind of restricted in his articulation. He's got one click on his elbow. His arms only go out that far. Yeah, that goes all the way around. He has got a waist joint. He's got hips, not quite 90 degree at the knee, and swivel below the knee, not above, which is of limited use. Nothing at the ankle. So this guy's kind of limited in his articulation. So have they made improvements with Gigan Trex? So starting off, we've got a ball jointed head that goes all the way round. It's got a little bit of tilt back, doesn't really go forwards. Shoulders, ratcheted all the way around. You've got a joint there, and then you've got a joint that goes all the way out to there. Oh, now you see bicep swivel. By turning the bicep swivel, it's popped the arm off because the bicep swivel's quite stiff, so you kind of have to grip it at the top of the shoulder to do the bicep swivel. 90 degree knee, elbow bend, ratcheted waist joint, hips go forward, hips go back. Now you've got these bits, you can fold them down, these bits here, and then that will afford him more range on his legs. Nearly 90 degree at the knee, and as with heavy iron, he's got the swivel below the knee, unfortunately. Nothing at the feet. So there we go. He has got more going on, especially on the arms. He's got way more articulation in the arms, like his arms go out. He's got a bicep swivel and he's got a 90 degree elbow. So he is more articulated than heavy iron. Now this guy does have a few features, starting with which these big chunks on his arms have got a weapon inside. So what you do is you you pull them apart like that. So you slide them apart, and there's a slider inside which you slide to the front and click it into place and shut it up, and there's one of his arm blades. So he has an arm blade. Again, the shoulder popped off. So he's got an arm blade, and he's got one on each arm. So he's got two arm blades, whereas Heavy Iron only had his singular arm blade, which attached to the outside of his arm like that. But this guy's got two blades, which is cool. But that's not all. He's got his card weapon. Now, the card, you've got this enormous thing. So, to attach it, you bring these flaps out, like so, and then you grab his arm, and then there's no, I think you have to turn the arm that way, and then there's a port on the bottom, the port there, and the port on the bottom of the arm. That plugs onto there. That then folds up, and then you fold these bits back, and then they click into the side of the arm. Then you bring this piece up and fold that back and click it in. You bring this piece forward, click it into place, and there is Gigan Trex's massive, I don't know what you call it, a dragon claw or beast claw. He's got this enormous massive great, Tyrannosaur claw. Well, he's called Gigan Trex, so I suppose this is Tyrann. I mean, it's probably got a name. Hang on, what does it say on the box? I can't read Korean Hangul. It's got a name there, but I'll have to get my phone with me app to translate it. I haven't done it beforehand, so that's bad prep on my part. But anyway, he's got this enormous thing, and in the show, he can grab people with it and crush them to death, and he can also shoot fire out of this thing as well. Only problem, such a big heavy thing. The ratchets in the arm are strong, but they struggle to hold the weight of this thing up. It's a struggle. You do have, it is on the arm, so you can work it into like a bicep swivel, so you can have it that way round or that way round. But yeah, oh fucking hell. That's why I was worried about these shoulders. They're two pegs on the shoulders, and yeah. So yeah, it's a very heavy thing, and it struggles to hold up the weight of it. See, and it also pulls the arm off at the connection in the shoulder. So yeah, a little bit of an oversight. They could have done with lightening this up a little bit, because he's a pretty heavy bot as it is. But it's a cool gimmick. It's an awesome thing, but it's massively over-engineered for what it needs to do, and the figure does struggle to hold it up. But anyway, there we go. There is this guy. Metal Cardbot S Gigan Trex. He's a big mother hubbard. He's very big, very chunky. He's got a lot of plastic in him. Very, very colourful robot mode. Better articulated than heavy iron. It's got this massive, sort of tyranno claw, sort of jaw weapon that he could barely hold up on the ratchets on his shoulders. And yeah, so it's a thing. It's a very cool figure. And I finally got one, because I tried to get one last month and wasn't able to, but I've got one now. And he's definitely one of the better figures in the Metal Cardbot S line that I've handled so far. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, this guy's pretty cool too. But I will admit I do like this thing a little better, for one reason or another. But there we go. There's been my review of that guy. Metal Cardbot S Gigan Trex. Before I finish this video, I just want to put a little thing in at the end. I've had a bit of bother with my second Korean package. FedEx has lost it. Basically, in the last leg of the journey from the local delivery centre to my door, it got mishandled into a neighbouring delivery bay, which was for an Amazon driver. He then added it to one of his shipments, and then it got delivered to a different customer than myself. So I get the notification to say that my package has been delivered, and nobody knocked at the door. FedEx van didn't go past, and I queried it, and yeah, FedEx lost my package. Amazon delivered it to somebody else. It's a big old screw up, and I've had an absolute nightmare trying to get FedEx to sort this problem out, because initially I went online, and it's all this artificial intelligence sort of help systems, in a little chat window that says, oh, can we help you? And then I put in the tracking code, and they said, oh yeah, that package has been delivered and signed for, because the package was correctly, well, it was signed for by somebody else and delivered to a different address than my own, but it was still delivered and signed for. And that then, according to that, the system said, oh yeah, delivery complete, all's good in the hood. It's like, and I had a hell of a job trying to get this AI system to see that there'd been a problem. And I had to take out a claim with Federal Express. For FedEx, I had to take out a claim, and by doing that, they've actually taken notice to my plea. And this is how I found out about the fact that the package has been mishandled and misdelivered using a different courier for a different delivery company. And it's over a week now since it went missing, and I've got a claims number, and they've been getting updates every day saying, oh, we're going to update you before 12 o'clock midday, or we're going to update you before 6 p.m. in the evening. I got my last update on Thursday. I'm filming this on a Friday, and apparently they only work Monday to Thursdays. They don't work on Fridays. Awesome sauce. Fucking hell, I'm having a right game with it. Don't know whether I'm going to get it. I don't know whether I'm going to have to cancel the order with Gmarket. I mean, I haven't told Gmarket I've had a problem with it. They're screaming at me saying, oh, your package has been delivered, you've got to confirm delivery, and I can't until I've got it. Yeah, so I've had a massive screw up with one of my Korean toys this month. So yeah. Also, today, as in when this video goes live, I will be at the TF Nation Minicon in Manchester. So hopefully when you see this video tomorrow, I will be in Manchester buying stuff at the Minicon. So I'll see you there if you're going. So that's been me, TFR Wilderness. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.